For decades, alien observers had quietly studied Earth, recording humanity's achievements, artistic expressions, diplomatic efforts, and their remarkable fascination with peace. In the galaxy's view, humans were an anomaly, a species with a unique talent for swift innovation yet showing little interest in domination or conquest. Known for their curiosity, resilience, and attachment to ideals like compassion and empathy, humanity was welcomed into the Galactic Coalition. But rather than warriors or defenders, they were seen as ideal emissaries of culture and diplomacy. This perception felt justified. Earth's history was a tapestry of artistic creation, exploration, alliance building, and fostering connections across borders. Alien historians marveled at Earth's diplomacy, its thirst for knowledge, and its unmatched ability to adapt to diverse environments. These traits, however, were seen as fundamentally soft, perfect for cultural endeavors but unsuited for warfare. Humanity seemed more like a species of peacemakers than soldiers. When Earth officially joined the coalition, they were given roles in diplomacy, agricultural science, and cultural preservation. Earth's contribution, it was believed, lay in enriching the galaxy with their wisdom and patience, building bridges between worlds rather than tearing them down. Known for negotiation, not conflict, empathy over aggression, humanity's place was thought to be one of peacemaking rather than warfare. Then came a new threat that shattered the galaxy's peace. A brutal, expansionist species launched a relentless invasion, sweeping through coalition planets one by one, leaving devastation in its wake. As the coalition's defenses began to falter, its leaders scrambled to rally forces, call upon allies, and prepare for a merciless, protracted war. Soldiers from every allied world were summoned to join the fight, yet humanity was largely excluded from military planning. Earth's leaders were approached primarily to aid with humanitarian and logistical support, with little thought of placing them on the front lines. When humanity volunteered to help in direct combat, the reaction was one of astonishment. Diplomats and cultural liaisons, yes, but humans leading or even participating in battle. The idea seemed nearly absurd. Coalition leaders hesitated, fearing that despite their good intentions, humanity's involvement in direct conflict would only add to the toll. However, the situation was growing desperate, and after persistent requests, humanity was reluctantly granted a minor role. A few hundred human soldiers were sent to support an outpost on the edge of the conflict, a distant post where their participation would have minimal impact on the overall war. As Earth's first units prepared to defend the outpost, alien commanders watched with barely concealed skepticism. The consensus remained that Earth's forces, unfamiliar with the vast scale of galactic warfare, would contribute little to the real fight. Alien observers were assigned to record humanity's involvement, expecting little more than a brief, valorous, but ultimately doomed display. But what coalition leaders and their watchers soon realized was that they had gravely underestimated Earth's defenders. Human soldiers didn't approach the battlefield with the regimented formations and straightforward tactics the coalition expected. Instead, they moved with an adaptability that confounded even the most seasoned military minds, blending cautious advances with sudden, decisive strikes. Humans avoided sheer force, opting for strategies honed over centuries of adaptive warfare, deception, agility, and precise coordination. While coalition forces fought in well-rehearsed patterns, human soldiers introduced unpredictability, relying on feints, traps, and swift changes in positioning that left enemies on edge. They did more than defend. They anticipated their opponent's moves, turning each skirmish into a calculated game of strategy few in the galaxy had ever seen. Reports from outposts flowed in, each detailing humanity's unusual style of combat. Alien observers watched as human troops assessed each confrontation on the fly, using environmental elements to their advantage. Where other forces might pull back, regroup, or request reinforcements, humans adapted on the spot, countering enemy tactics with an intensity that tipped the balance of battle in their favor. The coalition strategists, who had initially written off humanity as novices, were now revisiting their judgments, noting with amazement the precision with which humans conserved resources, coordinated effortlessly, and produced outcomes well beyond what anyone anticipated. But there was more to humanity's methods than mere tactics, something darker, even unsettling, in the way they approached combat. They fought with a raw ferocity, an unyielding resolve that was beyond duty. Injured soldiers declined evacuation, pressing on while others provided cover. Human troops seemed driven by more than survival, a determination that both puzzled and unnerved the coalition. Alien commanders observed in disbelief as humanity's small contingent at the outpost not only held its position but transformed it into a strategic trap for enemy forces. Coalition observers stationed to monitor and report were astounded by the relentless, calculated engagement humans displayed in each confrontation. These soldiers weren't simply following orders. They adapted, strategized, fast and countered with a fervor that altered the outcome of every clash. When enemy vessels attempted to bombard their positions, human engineers were already implementing countermeasures. They hacked into abandoned equipment to broadcast decoy signals, drawing enemy fire away from key points and exposing enemy positions. Alien observers watched in awe as human squads, even amidst chaos, maintained an almost instinctive connection, moving as though parts of a single mind. Each squad operated seamlessly, anticipating each other's actions without hesitation. The coalition, accustomed to predictable tactics and precise strategies, found itself stunned by the sheer ingenuity and resilience humanity brought to the fight. Humans turned their surroundings into tactical advantages, setting traps in unexpected places, using natural cover to ambush, and creating barriers that funneled enemy troops into deadly kill zones. With each encounter, it became apparent that humans fought not only with skill, but with a primal drive that propelled them beyond the limits of conventional soldiers. Seasoned alien troops, accustomed to years of conflict, hesitated, thrown off balance by the humans' unyielding precision and persistence. And it wasn't only about physical tactics. Human forces introduced a new dimension of psychological warfare that caught the enemy completely off guard. Human soldiers didn't just fight, they disrupted. They infiltrated enemy communication networks, broadcasting confusing, unsettling messages that planted seeds of doubt among enemy ranks. Coalition commanders, who had once dismissed humans as mere diplomats and cultural liaisons, began noticing how human tactics were undermining enemy morale. Entire enemy units grew reluctant to advance, slowed by whispered rumors of the human defenders lying in wait, ready to strike. The coalition's leaders were starting to see they had underestimated something crucial about humanity. Where other species leaned heavily on formal training and advanced weaponry, humans tapped into a survival instinct honed over ages of conflict. Their approach wasn't merely adaptable, it was calculated, ruthless efficiency in motion. Human soldiers didn't need detailed instructions, they needed a target. And the drive to achieve that objective seemed to eclipse everything else. Fear, fatigue, even pain. To the coalition, it became clear that humans fought with a purpose that transcended simple orders. As Earth's small force continued to deliver unexpected victories, alien observers sent reluctant reports to their commanders, acknowledging humanity's distinctive approach to warfare. Skeptical at first, the coalition began to integrate more human units into critical defense posts, testing their mettle in more substantial numbers. Yet, even this gradual acceptance couldn't prepare them for what was to come. In larger conflicts, humanity's impact became undeniable. They didn't just hold the line, they transformed battles into organized chaos. Coalition forces watched in awe as humans fought, proving themselves every bit as capable as their alien allies, but with a ferocity that defied conventional understanding of warfare. Human commanders executed surprising feints and quick maneuvers, adjusting in moments to enemy attacks. They crafted counter-strategies on the spot, driving enemy forces back and astonishing even the coalition's most experienced strategists. With each hard-won victory, humanity's influence began reshaping the entire battlefront. Alien troops, once confident in their superior technology and numbers, started faltering. Some units retreated, unnerved by human soldiers who seemed unstoppable, almost relentless in their pursuit of victory. The coalition's leaders, who had once dismissed humanity as unsuited for combat, began to see them as an invaluable force, one that could push back the threat and perhaps even change the course of the entire war. But beyond their tactical skill, it was humanity's relentless resolve that began to instill genuine fear in the coalition's enemies. To humans, retreat was never an option unless every last effort had been exhausted. They fought not with the detachment of professional soldiers, but with a fierce, instinctual resistance that was unmistakable. Observers from allied worlds, initially skeptical, found themselves captivated by the sheer intensity of humanity's approach to war. It seemed as though humans had unlocked something dormant within, an ancient, almost godlike potential for battle that had been lying in wait. Where once the coalition had doubted humanity's value in the war, they now recognized their true strength. As human units expanded into key areas of the conflict, their impact became impossible to ignore. Alien commanders, who had once mocked what they saw as humanity's rudimentary fighting styles, now studied them intently, scrutinizing human tactics and adjusting their own forces to try to keep up. But despite the coalition's technological advantage, they found it difficult to replicate humanity's unique adaptability and relentless pace. Human forces led pivotal operations, organizing defenses, commanding strike teams, and coordinating surprise offensives. Coalition leaders grew increasingly reliant on human-developed strategies, marveling as humans predicted enemy moves with uncanny accuracy. Human commanders, with a natural sense for battlefield dynamics, utilized coalition resources with an expertise that transformed each engagement into a carefully calculated opportunity. They employed tactics that evolved as swiftly as the battles themselves, constantly pressing the enemy into positions that left them isolated and exposed. It was this instinctive approach to warfare that set humans apart, as though they were inherently equipped to grasp the complexities of combat in a way no other species could match. In space, human pilots showed a fearlessness that left alien allies speechless. They executed daring maneuvers, weaving through enemy formations with sharp, calculated turns that defied standard tactics. Their ships weren't the most advanced or powerful, but human pilots exploited every strength and mitigated every weakness, making split-second decisions that allowed them to outmaneuver foes. Observers from across the galaxy watched in awe as human pilots single-handedly shifted the outcomes of skirmishes, proving that victory was rooted not just in technology but in the mind behind the machine. On the ground, human soldiers exhibited a similar mastery. Every deployment unfolded with a mix of raw courage and careful planning, demonstrating to the coalition that humans didn't merely respond to the flow of battle, they anticipated it. Their forces remained in perpetual motion, adapting seamlessly to shifting conditions and using terrain in ways alien soldiers had never imagined. In dense jungles, desolate city ruins, and harsh deserts, humans wielded the terrain itself as a weapon, luring enemy forces into ambushes, setting cunning traps, and using natural cover to devastating effect. Their resilience was matched only by their unwavering resolve, advancing against even the most daunting odds. Within the coalition's command centers, alien officers who once dismissed humans as unsuited for war now turned to them for guidance. Human tacticians, previously confined to diplomatic roles, emerged as pivotal strategists and battlefield coordinators. Their maps, once static grids, now pulsed with fluid lines and evolving formations that seemed to move with purpose, each detail meticulously designed for maximum impact. Under human leadership, coalition troops fought with renewed vigor, inspired by humanity's fierce determination. As human-led units claimed victory after victory, morale surged across the coalition's ranks, motivated by the strength radiating from Earth's forces. Meanwhile, the enemy could sense the shift in power. Confronting humans was no longer just a question of strength or technological advantage. It had become a test against an unpredictable, adaptable, and utterly relentless adversary. Commanders on the enemy's side, who had once dismissed humanity as a minor threat, now found themselves hesitating. News of human triumphs rippled through their ranks, stories of soldiers who fought with relentless intensity, thriving in the chaos of war. Alien soldiers facing humans felt the impact, their confidence shaken by this foe who seemed to be fueled by something beyond mere survival. Within enemy ranks, a new legend began to form, whispers circulating of humans as more than just warriors. Some spoke in hushed tones, calling them gods of war, beings with a natural affinity for combat, born from something deeper than mere training. Coalition allies began to adopt this title with a sense of awe, recognizing the unique presence humans brought to the battlefield. Humanity, they realized, possessed a latent power, a capacity for battle that was both breathtaking and daunting. Even among enemy troops, the legend took hold, rattling those who faced humanity's methodical, relentless approach to warfare. With each encounter, humanity's reputation as gods of war grew, not through displays of overwhelming force but through their indomitable spirit. They fought not for conquest but to protect and defend, a purpose that gave their presence a commanding weight. Coalition leaders, now fully aware of humanity's worth, saw that this war was not merely a struggle over territory but a revelation of humanity's place in the galaxy. And as the coalition readied itself for a final, decisive confrontation, humanity took their place at the forefront, their resolve setting the tone for the battle to come. Commanders, soldiers, and civilians alike came to view humans as more than mere allies. They were defenders, brilliant tacticians, and, ultimately, symbols of an indomitable force that could not be subdued. The coalition's confidence swelled, emboldened by an alliance with a species whose latent potential for warfare promised to turn the tide of any battle. As the coalition marshaled its forces for the ultimate showdown, a decisive, all-or-nothing offensive that would determine the fate of the galaxy, humanity stood at its heart, its ranks reinforced and its reputation now legendary. For weeks, alien commanders meticulously prepared for this battle, fully aware that humanity's presence had transformed the entire campaign. The enemy, having witnessed human tactics firsthand, knew they couldn't hold out for long. Rumors spread that the opposition would hurl every ship, every soldier, into this confrontation, hoping to crush humanity's forces and shatter the coalition's morale once and for all. Yet humanity remained resolute. Human commanders led with a fierce intensity that inspired every coalition soldier, directing strategies with laser precision. Every maneuver was deliberate, every position carefully carefully calculated, and humanity left nothing to chance. Their timing was flawless, their resources meticulously managed, and their forces positioned with the expertise of a species tempered by ages of hard-won resilience. They deployed decoys to draw the enemy into deadly traps, fortified key points with layered defenses, and launched shock troops at precisely the right moments to sever enemy supply chains. And whenever the enemy adapted, humanity adapted faster, staying perpetually one step ahead. The alien troops, feeling the full force of humanity's tactical brilliance, began to crack. The enemy command, accustomed to controlling the battlefield, struggled to maintain its hold. Desperate reports detailed the collapse of enemy units, falling prey to human ambushes and traps, their fleets crippled by human-led assaults that struck from every conceivable angle. Despite their superior weaponry and despite humanity's limited technology, the enemy found itself battered and dispirited by humanity's unyielding strategic advantage. Human pilots, ground forces, and commanders moved in perfect synchrony, unified by a sense of purpose that surpassed any individual directive. In the heart of battle, human soldiers advanced with a tenacity that went beyond mere survival. They fought as though each inch gained and each enemy vanquished was a step toward defending something far greater than themselves. Every action was precise, every focus unbroken, and any enemy unit daring to challenge their line faced fierce, disciplined resistance. Each human warrior seemed to embody a timeless spirit, a warrior ethos that was as ancient as it was resolute. To the coalition's allies, humans had become more than warriors. They were symbols of an immense, untapped power, a natural instinct for combat that surpassed the understanding of every other species. Word spread quickly through enemy lines of humanity's formidable strength, and the title Gods of War gained a life of its own. The coalition's foes, once certain in their superior numbers, now hesitated, realizing they faced an unbreakable force, a force that fought not just with strategy but with an indomitable spirit. Soldiers who had once mocked the idea of humans on the battlefield now felt a creeping fear, watching each encounter bring more losses, more retreats, more defeat. The tide had turned, not due to overwhelming firepower but to the unshakable will and tactical brilliance that humanity brought to every conflict. As the coalition advanced, humanity remained at the forefront, its leadership steady and resolute. They hadn't sought war nor conquest, but now, standing on the brink of victory, it was evident that humanity had become something more, an enduring force in the galaxy, a reminder of what it meant to fight with purpose. They did not desire domination, nor did they seek to impose their will. Instead, they fought for the freedom of their allies, for the safety of their home, and with the unwavering conviction that they would never yield to oppression. When the final defenses collapsed and the coalition triumphed, the galaxy's view of humanity was forever altered. Humans were no longer simply members of the cosmos, quiet contributors to art and diplomacy. They had earned a place as defenders, a force capable of both war and peace. Their latent strength, finally revealed, reshaped how the galaxy saw Earth. The coalition realized they had gained more than an ally. They had gained a protector, a species with a strength and depth that even the mightiest empires couldn't rival. In the aftermath, as rebuilding began, humanity chose to embrace this role, not as conquerors but as guardians. Their title, Gods of War, spread not through tales of domination but through stories of unyielding resolve, a people who had revealed a strength born of hardship, resilience, and unwavering loyalty to their allies. To the galaxy, humanity had set a new standard of what it meant to fight and what it meant to protect. When Earth's soldiers returned home, they carried no spoils but instead the knowledge that they had changed the galaxy itself, leaving a legacy that would be remembered for generations. Humanity had proven itself, and the galaxy would never be the same.